Today, I would like to present to you 3 of the awards Username and myself have won over some period of time. Username has been here for 9 good years and 6 very active years from 2016. I've been receiving questions about growing a brand. On Friday last week, Username won the most reliable and trusted real estate brand in Kenya. This is the award that we received. I also won CEO of the Year 2022 by Brands of the Year Awards 2022 edition. And this is another award for top 100 mid-sized companies in Kenya, which we won in 2018. Basically, this is what most people see out there when you post in social media, when you post photos of ourselves. This is most likely what people see about the awards you have received, the big following you have on social media, our team, and many other things that people admire about Username Investment Limited. Today, I would like to answer that question to my many friends who have been asking, and I would like to give you a snapshot of what we have been doing, our experiences, and maybe share and help some of these young businesses become brands by themselves. The question is, how do you grow an award-winning brand? I would like to answer that question today. And of course, I would like those who are tuned in, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. What do you think is the meaning of a brand? Many people have different thinking on this subject. Many people have different ideas. They already are thinking about something when I talk about brand. If you want to define a brand according to Google, it's an intangible marketing and business concept that helps people identify a company, a product, an individual, or a service. There are very many types of brands that I would like to mention 4 of them that you can be able to relate with. When you talk about brands, what do you think? What do you feel? What do you see? Who do you think about? What company comes to mind? What individual comes to mind? And stuff like that. That is what we are talking about. The number 1, you have a corporate brand. This is like Username Investment Limited. This is a company offering affordable land for investment and for immediate settlement. We have a personal brand. We have many in Kenya, especially for artists and musicians. A brand like Reuben Kimani. I'm in social media myself. We also have a product brand. I remember in the year 2017, during general elections, Username gave Githeriman a piece of land somewhere in Ngong. We already have given title for it. For those who might want to ask that question down there, they have their title deed with them. We believe we're able to meet our promises. We are able to give what we said. And most people during that time, the name that came out was the project that you are doing, Ngong Crescent, to an extent where somebody thought it was a company, Ngong Crescent Limited, but it's a gated community we have in Ngong, very popular. And because of Githeriman, people are thinking Ngong Crescent is a company name. It was not. It was a product name. The company is Username Investment. There are many other examples in the market that I can mention. People know about Jumbo Pay, SportsPesa. These are brands. They are company behind those brands. Even when you hear Omo, we have all those trading brands. Some of them are not companies. They are just names. So you can have a brand as a product. It can also be a service. Some of those services that you already know. Some of them are already brands by themselves, but they are not companies. So those are just 4 categories, just for your own understanding. When you see or hear brands, it can be a business, it can be a product, it can be a service, it can be a person. So the question is, how do you grow these brands? And this is the end result when you get such awards in those big competitions. We have more than 30 awards in this company. I cannot be able to place all of them here for you to be able to see, but this is just an outcome. This is a result. This is not the work. Most people will never tell you the amount of work that you need to do to stand out. to become a brand. But let me define a brand by what I understand. For me, a brand, I have given a scientific definition that you get in Google. A brand for me is a value system. A brand for me is that reputation you have. A brand for me is what you stand for consistently. This also boils down to a personal level. There are people who are known to keep their promises. Username, I believe, is known to keep its promises. We have a tradition of trust. There are people who are known to keep time. There are people who are known to pay their debts. If they tell you something, they are going to do it. That is a brand. There are people who are known for all manner of things. That is a reputation. That is your brand. But for me, is your value system, what you stand for over the years. And that for me defines. Even as a person, these are questions I believe somebody can ask themselves. What is my brand? What do I stand for deeply? That defines your brand. What comes out is what people see and is what people call reputation. I'm going to give you 3 things on how to build an award-winning brand, especially on a company level, on a product level. Maybe I may not talk so much about individuals, but remember, these concepts are the same for all these categories that I have mentioned, whether it's business, whether it's personal, whether it's a product. Number 1, for a brand, for you to stand out, an award-winning brand, you have to define your purpose. For businesses, it's called your value system. And to be very specific, these are core values. If you go around this business, and when you say brand, people look at the names of the company, username, investment, the colors you see. I believe you can see behind me. You can see red, you can see green. Those are company colors because they define that image that you see. But it is the value system behind it that makes it very successful. So you define your value system. These are core values. If you ask me about username today, I'll tell you it's a tradition of trust. Some people will tell you those people deliver their title deeds. They can be trusted. That's a company that is honest. That is our brand. We are trustworthy, we are honest. We are professional. We are tradition of trust. We deliver unto our promises. That's how you know about username. That is our brand, and that is exactly what we stand for from the bottom of our hearts. That's what I'm talking about. But when you see these awards, that's what people think, hey, that's a serious brand. This is an outcome, this is a present, this is a gift, this is what you see out there. So you have to define what you stand for as a business, especially for young business. Are you a business that can be trusted? Are you a business that keeps its promises? Are you a business that delivers quality products and services? Are you a business that delivers in good time? Are you a business that delivers cost-friendly? Are you a business that delivers value? Those are serious markers that you can use to gauge yourself as a young business. And if you do that, number 1, you have to know what you stand for, even before you start that business. If you don't define that, everything goes. And that's why you find some companies, especially in our space, going down because they never stood for something in the first place. So it's very important to define what you stand for as a business. This also works so well with an individual also. An individual has to define what they stand for very early in their lives. I know these are my boundaries. This is what I can do. This is what I cannot do. That is your brand. And people respect that once you are consistent with this. Number 2, you have to identify your target audience. This is what people call in business your niche market. What are you trying, the problem you are trying to solve, because businesses are meant to solve problems. Are you trying to solve problems for young people, for old people, for which gender? So you have to define, is it for male, is it for females? Is it for old people, is it for young people? Is it for people in Africa, in Kenya, in Uganda, in West Africa? Is it for, there are so many definitions, those things that You have to know who are you trying to reach. Whose problems are you trying to solve? I've seen a company that sells modern fashionable bags that are built and made in Kenya. They are doing quite well because they are focusing on the young and the trendy in the country, and it is working quite well. So the audience is the young and the trendy. Maybe they are also focusing on young ladies, for example. So you have to identify your target market. Which problems are you trying to solve, and for who are you trying to solve that problem? The last thing, which is very important for brands, and this works everywhere in life, you have to remain true and consistent. Remember, in number 1, I talked about your value system. As a person, as a company. For a person, is a value system. For a company, these are core values. Our biggest core value as a company, just to give you direction, is trust. We must be a trusted organization by all means necessary. The other things about affordability, those ones come second. We are a professional organization. We have first-class customer experience. We have 5 core values that if you come to our office today, you'll find them almost all over in the rooms. They are stuck there because people have to keep every day. When you walk into our office, you have to be reminded that's what we stand for. And that is what will keep us strong for so many years. So number 3, you have to remain true and consistent with your value system, with your core values as a young business. And to give a perfect example, in the year 2016, we lost 5 million shillings at the beginning of the second phase 2 of our business, seriousness. We had a strategy on to multiply everything by 10, and we did that, and we got conned. We learned many ways to secure you, because once bitten, twice shy. We learned many ways to do due diligence so that you are never conned. Imagine if we had not defined what we stand for, because we defined our core values long time ago. This is what we wanted to do, and for this reason. We are in this business to solve the trust question. We have to ensure that there are companies in the real estate sector that can be trusted. We also have to ensure that there is affordability in the market, especially for young people. So we were trying to solve those questions. We knew what we stand for. Even after being conned of all the money we had then, we were able to still proceed and encourage ourselves. We stand for something, and this is a temporary setback. Even at some point in the business, this time we have bought land twice, because our name, our reputation is more important than that. Those numbers, those revenues, those people are do business to look for profits, to look for money. It is important, yes, but if you stand for a higher calling, you're able to last long. So because of that, we have been able to go through challenges as a business and come out stronger, because we don't give up. We are a brand, we stand for something. And if you come to Username today, and in 2025, it should be the same. We should be a tradition of trust. We should also be professional. If you come to Username today, if Reuben is not there, someone else should be able to serve you. That is professionalism. People know us by a certain standard, by the way we behave, by the way we operate, the products that we give you, how we respond to you. That one will not change. That is by remaining true and consistent. Very important. And when you remain true and consistent, you also think long term. Brands are there to stay. They will go through generations. You have brands, especially out of this country, especially in the West. Some of the brands are sold. You are creating brands for 9 generations, for example. Username should be there maybe for 1,000 years. Who knows? So we have to create a foundation of the value system. Whoever will come after 300 years will still be able to do the same. Coca-Cola has been there for 125 years. Banks like Barclays and Standard Chartered have been there for 100 years. There are so many examples that I can give on the international space. Your young business today, how long will it be before it goes down? Most of our brands, especially for SMEs, they are created maybe to address someone who wants to make money, someone who wants to get a deal and stuff like that. No one focuses on the long-term nature of brand. And if you do that, you can last longer, you can go stronger. One day, the business can become a unicorn, what is called a billion-dollar business, through consistency. There are many other things I can mention about brand. Those are the main to recap. You have to create a value system, core values for companies, value system for individuals. Number two, you have to identify your niche market. This is your target audience. And the last thing, you have to remain true to yourself, true and consistent as you think long term. The other things, like brands need to have a personal search. That's why if you go to our Facebook pages today, you'll find all manner of information. Sometimes there is entertainment, there are quizzes there. Sometimes we will talk about things to do with awareness in the sector, awareness in the country, not necessarily about land and plots. Because we are human beings, we want to address you and we want to ensure that investing is not boring. Investing is something interesting. You can come there and get pieces of advice and also secure your future, your retirement, and the future of your children. So I believe you have gathered something about this conversation. When you think about brands, I'm giving you substances, and I believe some people, some small businesses, there are so many people who have asked this question, they'll be able to get something, run with it, create businesses, create individuals, and create brands that can last for so long. Not just in Kenya, all over the globe, because Africa and Kenya is the next frontier of big brands. You know Amazon, you know Facebook, you know Apple, but who tells you your brand cannot be the biggest like Apple in the next so many years, maybe in the next 10, 15, or even 50 years. So I believe this is beneficial to many of us. Please go out there, do something, create very reliable, strong, trusted, and award-winning brands. Thank you so much, and God bless you. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our Facebook page, and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at username properties.